It's 5:30 p.m. here in Singapore. You're watching The Big Story, where we will discuss the hottest topics of the day and explain why they matter. I'm Haryanto Diman, coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom. A man from Wuhan, China, who previously tested positive for the coronavirus, has recovered and was discharged from the National Centre for Infectious Diseases. Now, dubbed case number 7, the 35-year-old is the first patient to be discharged. Another could be discharged in the next few days. Now, meanwhile, from primary and secondary schools to junior colleges and special education schools, students across Singapore saw new measures implemented today. This comes in light of the new coronavirus cases revealed yesterday, where 4 people were infected through human-to-human transmission.
As a result of these developments, as you have just heard, government will be implementing additional precautionary measures in our schools and in our preschools because they are considered a vulnerable sector. We will implement some social distancing measures for school-going and preschool children. Namely, we will suspend our mass assemblies, we will cancel camps, and we will stagger recesses. So the aim is to circumscribe the intermingling of students by not conducting mass-level learning activities.
To keep students safe, assemblies and other communal activities will be suspended in schools from today. Co-curricular activities and after-school programs may continue, but in smaller groups. Health checks and temperature screening for all children, staff and visitors will continue as well and occur more frequently. To tell us more about these mitigation measures that are in place, we have journalist Jolene Ang. Welcome, Jolene. Jolene, for a start, how will this suspension of activities affect the day-to-day schedule?
Okay, so firstly, there'll be no more mass assemblies starting from today, even though some schools have already started implementing it a week ago. So assembly is now done in the classrooms. So the schools will usually broadcast the national anthem or the school song over the school's PA system, and the students also take the pledge in the class together with their friends. And then after that, they do the temperature taking exercise in class. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the staggered recess timings. Again, some schools have been doing this even before the coronavirus outbreak, but that was simply for logistical reasons. So for example, a whole cohort in a primary school cannot fit in the canteen at the same time. So in the past, maybe it used to be they split it by lower and upper sec, but now some schools are doing it by like P1 and P2, P3 and P4, P5 and P6 and so on. So it's even greater staggering of recess timings. Yeah. So for JCs, we've also heard that some schools are making adjustments. For example, to avoid having large groups of students in the same place, Hwa Chong is splitting up some of its lectures. So the maximum number of people that can be in one place is 100 people. So if there are more than 100 students trying to attend the same lecture, it will be split into 2 places and the 2 lectures will be done simultaneously.
Right. Jolene, on that, you spoke about JCs, right? Now, today is the first day of school for JC1 students. How are these new measures affecting them?
Yes, so orientation for JC1s is usually about the first week of school or so. So we've heard of a few major changes in some JCs. So for example, Hwa Chong is cancelling some of its segments, like the mass dance activity segment. And there's also talks that there's a post-orientation party that was supposed to happen, but it could also be cancelled. Meanwhile, at National JC, they are also shortening the orientation period by a day. So I think it was supposed to end next Wednesday, but they're going to end it on Tuesday instead.
Right.
So for today itself at NJC, there were some games that were cancelled. So students were split into groups and they attended talks instead of playing games. Yeah.
It's quite a pity, right, that because orientation is a big part of schools or of starting school, especially for junior colleges.
Yeah, that's right. So orientation is also a period where you get to make friends with people outside your class, within your cohort, and that's always a fun way to start the school year. So yeah, it is a pity that these activities are affected.
Yeah.
We've also reached out to MOE to see if they have issued any guidelines to the JCs to find a way to balance and sort of give the students a full experience somehow.
Right. But I suppose, of course, at the end of the day, the health of the students and even the staff of our school, they are the utmost priority in this situation right now. Right. And Jolene, of course, you spoke to parents about these measures. Do they feel that these measures are sufficient? What are their response?
So there were some mixed responses. Some parents felt that it was sufficient. So for example, a parent that I spoke to mentioned that she was actually glad that they were doing greater staggering of recess timings because this would prevent overcrowding, and she said it would give children more time to, say, wash their hands properly. You know, that whole there's a few steps to washing your hands properly, right? So if there are fewer children trying to crowd the sinks and all, she said it would be better. But of course, there are also some who feel that even more can be done. So maybe some of them said that cancelling mass assemblies and large gatherings is a good step, but maybe not really enough, because even in the classroom setting, the classroom is still a good setting for germs and possible bugs to spread.
Have any parents say express concerns or even suggest for schools to shut?
I think there have been some calls for that, but I think the ministries are monitoring the situation, and we are not sure under what circumstances there will be a national shutdown of schools.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Jolene, for coming on to the show, to shed more light on these new measures that have been implemented in schools. For more on the coronavirus, of course, you can head to straitstimes.com.